Yo, what's up, Batter? It's Jason Capital here. How are you doing? Hope you're doing fucking fantastic. I hope the rainbows are shining brightly upon you right now. So, got a question today. This one comes from David. Here's what he says. He goes, "Hello, Jason. It never ceases to amaze me how you mix badassery and overwhelming intelligence. You achieve balance." Apparently, I can't read. You achieve balance. A compliment about me. If I'm going to be able to read something, should probably be a compliment. He says, "You achieve balance in the best of both sides of humanity. 1 million won't be enough for you, I can tell right now. It's just a goal to reach. I know you will. I have a question that only you're qualified to answer. Like you, I enjoy the balances of rebel and intellectual. My hang-up is when in conversation with women, I've been told that I am a deep person. I hate small talk, so what is the high status way of talking about stuff that really matters, like sex, challenges, relationships, life, her favorite positions, things like that? Thank you, you high status badass." That rhymes. Didn't realize that. All right, David. So you ask a good question, okay? And this was actually, toss that. This is something that I actually had to put some like legitimate conscious thought into a couple, maybe 2 or 3 years ago or so, because what I found was even as a young age, as like a 22 or 23-year-old here in Southern California when I moved here, I was just like, I'm so much smarter than most of the people I meet. And I know that sounds extremely arrogant, but it's true. And what would happen is I'd be talking to people and the things that most people talk about is just so fucking stupid and boring and like mundane and tedious and fuck that shit, okay? I was never going to talk about that, okay? In one of Brian Tracy's programs, one of my favorite things he says is that lucky people tend to always talk about the things they want to talk about. Like, you get in a conversation with someone who just seems to be lucky, you'll happen to notice that they tend to talk about whatever, they want to talk about, whatever they're feeling engaged about or passionate about in that moment. So that's me. Okay, we get in conversation. I'm just talking about what the fuck I want to talk about. And I couldn't have these boring-ass conversations. I like to talk about philosophy. I like to talk about setting goals and having huge fucking dreams and pounding girls and threesomes. I like to talk about important shit. And it was like, well, I can't get deep with these people because they can't even they can't handle it, right? And a lot of people would say, well, okay, that's fine. You just need to find other people who are like on that level, and that's who you can converse with. And the truth is, though, at least, even then and now to an extent, a lot of the girls that I fuck are also not as intelligent as me. And if you're like a really smart dude, if you're like a badass at Team Capital who's leaning into his edges every day and he's increasing his state and his knowledge and his intellect and his strategies and his ways of the world every single day, you're probably going to end up being a lot smarter than most of the girls you sleep with too. So it's like, well, you can't always be deep. You can't always talk about that stuff, especially if you're going to want to seduce one of these girls. You're going to have trouble doing it if you keep talking about, Ben Franklin's philosophy on temperament. It's probably not going to work. So, of course, the question is, how do you do it? Okay, how do I balance the cool fucking shit that I love talking about with, still being fucking awesome and still coming off as like this adventurous, badass, free-flowing, doesn't give a fuck motherfucker that all the girls want to fuck. Said fuck a lot there. So, here's what I realized, okay, and it's two things. Is one, basically, I look at it, I think of it in my mind as like, it's like this core of like, this is the badass shit that I'm going to talk about. These are my focuses. Like, this is my fucking business goals. This is how I fuck chicks. This is how I like to, mind fuck people. I really talk about that. I really talk about reading. I like to talk about health, green juice. I like to talk about sarcasm. I like to talk about, like these are like the shit I like to talk about, like that core or whatever those things. These are the things I'm going to always be talking about. But I realized if I wrap them, in a state or emotion of, being fun and challenging or playful challengingness, which is, the ultimate attraction switch, then I can still talk about those things. Because other people, when you're talking with them, they like the content, they hear it, they don't hear it, they hear it, they don't hear it, whatever. What they're really getting from you is what they're feeling, right? The emotions that they get from that conversation with you. So you can talk about Ben Franklin's wonderful issues and his beliefs and views on temperament, and if you wrap them in a fun, playful, challenging way, then it's still cool. Then all they're going to get is a fun, playful, challenging dude talking to them, and they're going to like that because girls are attracted to fun and challenging dudes. It's really fucking simple. So that's what I found. So for instance, if I'm talking to a girl about Ben Franklin's views on temperament, how much more boring could we possibly get? Because his views on temperament were super boring, but I could talk to any girl about that in the first couple minutes, and I can still make it attractive and engaging for someone. If I'm really engaged into it, I'm really fucking into it. And at the same time, I can be challenging her at the same time. If we're talking about Ben Franklin's temperament, I can be like, oh, Ben Franklin, like, I just fucking love this guy. Like, here's the thing: you take what you're talking about, like the Ben Franklin thing, and then you put like an interesting, something that's interesting to you, or a positive or a funny spin on it. So I'm talking about his issues on temperament. The way that I would make it fun and challenging, engaging, and interesting to the girl who might not be that smart or knows issues or whatever, I can bring up this curious question. Like, I wonder what Ben Franklin's issues on, or what his views on like temperament would be today. And I wonder how his views on the Jersey Shore would be. Can you just like picture Ben Franklin watching the Jersey Shore right now? I bet you he'd be like a closet Jersey Shore fan. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. Like him and Mike situation probably get along. Like you can mix and match these things, okay? And the reason, this is the whole point of the video that I wanted to get to, the reason that I'm able to do that, and the reason that you are able to do that, okay, is because you are detached from things, okay? You have a general state or general indifference or just detachment, okay? You understand the transience of life, things come, go, whatever, fuck it, okay? So you're not like, oh, no, I have to talk about his temperament issues, very, very serious. You don't have to be like that. You can mix and match the playful and the fun and the challenging. It's all good. Okay, you're standing up here. You're fucking leaning. You're boom. You're here. Everything else is just coming and going down here. It doesn't matter. Okay, and so when you can learn how to detach like that, that's going to allow you. Okay, call it high status attachment. That's going to allow you to talk about deeper things in a funny, playful, engaging, challenging way. Okay, so remember, you have your core things, you wrap in that playful, challenging, that engaging, that interesting, just like strong emotional stuff, because, and also like light and playful at the same time. That's what people are obviously attracted to. And you can talk about anything you want, as long as they're getting those emotions from you, okay, and not the boring shit, okay? Because I could talk about something that should be really interesting, but if I don't talk about it in a playful, fun, challenging, engaging, really strong, emotional kind of way, then it's boring anyways. Right? Like something that most people would think would be interesting. I don't know. Katy Perry's vagina. Like most people probably find that really interesting, but I can make that conversation really fucking dull. Okay, I can make it really dull. I wonder, I think about her labia a lot. Like I wonder about her labia. I wonder, actually it's still kind of gross. Katy Perry's kind of gross. But the point is, okay, that's a weird turn. Let's come back here. The point is that you can make a fun thing boring or a boring thing fun. It doesn't matter depending on how you look at it, if you're engaged about it, if you're excited about it. What you're feeling in that moment when you're talking about that thing is what they're going to feel. So you can make anything interesting if you're interested in it too. Okay? So go from there. There's a lot of fucking information in there. This is a free YouTube video, so I'm not trying to make it boom, boom, boom. But hopefully that helped you out. David, I'm Jason. Peace, guys.